Hello, Zionsville Methodist Church. It's a joy to share with you today a little bit about what I've been experiencing here as your new pastor. When I first arrived here at the church, I arranged a series of listening sessions. In total, I went into 20 different homes and met with small groups ranging from 6 to 8 people all the way up to 30 people. In all, about 250 people took time to share with me their hopes and their dreams and concerns for our church. And so I wanted to share with you now a little of the highlights of all those visits. Each group I asked the same 4 questions. And so I'm going to go question by question and just share with you what were the top responses that I heard. The first question I asked every group was, what do we as a church do well? Well, there's lots of things that we do well. I mean, just about every group talked about our music and our worship and how wonderful it is, our involvement in our community and the world and all the opportunities people have to give and serve, our children's and our youth program, not just on Sunday mornings, but throughout the week with children's learning program and the rock program. But there was one answer that was mentioned by every single group I visited, and that was that we are a welcoming and friendly church. And having only been here 5 months, but I can still affirm just how welcoming and friendly this church is, not just for me and my family, but for all of my friends and relatives who have visited. They all say, David, you are so blessed to be in such a warm and inviting place. And so thank you for being that welcoming and friendly church. Then the second question I asked was, looking ahead at the next 2 to 3 years, what do you think are the top challenges or opportunities we face as a church? Now here is where the answers really diverged in lots of different directions. I mean, there were very few answers that kind of every group said, except one. Again, the top response mentioned by all but 2 or 3 groups was that we as a church have to do better at reaching the next generation, especially people between the ages of 18 to 30, those young millennials, so to speak. And it was voiced in lots of different ways. Like some people said, we're blessed to have 500-something kids come for Vacation Bible School. How come we can't connect with their parents on a weekly basis? Some people kind of talked about other churches in the area that seemed to be more successful at this and drawing young people away. But what I heard was really people sharing their personal needs and concerns. People saying, my kid, my grandkid, just doesn't feel like they connect here. When they come to worship, they don't see anyone else their age. And so that's something that we need to be addressing in the next 2 to 3 years. And that was kind of identified unanimously, or close to unanimously, as our top priority. So the third question I asked then was, and this is kind of a fun one, if you could wave a magic wand and produce a mid-sized miracle for our church, what would that miracle be? Again, just like the previous question, a wide variety of responses. Probably the most, the most consistent one was this was a wish for growth in our church. That full house feel that we get a couple of times a year. Wouldn't it be great if we had that full house feel a little bit more consistently? And connected to that was the desire for more leaders and more engagement within our church. And a lot of people expressed desire for our youth. To be more visible in worship, for us to see them and using their gifts and have the opportunity to know more about what they're doing and their activities. Yeah, but again, answers were all over the board. My favorite response, only one person said, but I liked it. It was, what if we built pickleball courts in somewhere on our church property and invited families to come play pickleball? As a personal pickleball fan, I don't know, not such a bad idea, but probably not coming the next year. But those gives you an idea of kind of the range of ideas we had. And then the last question I asked people was, how has this church helped you specifically to grow spiritually? The number one response was small groups, Bible studies. It's when you get into kind of those small groups of people where you know each other's names and have the opportunity to share your faith and go deeper and be authentic. And it's not just the study itself, it's the feeling of knowing that there are people who know you, who know what's going on in your life and are there to support you through thick and thin. That was by far the number one answer. Shortly after that was being in service, whether that's on mission trips or whether it's teaching Sunday school or serving somewhere else in the church. Again, a place to connect with others, but also to exercise your faith in helping someone else. And the third answer was Well, it was worship and preaching, so I guess that puts the pressure back on me to keep, delivering the goods. But one family, they said, what helps us grow is the nursery. I said, really, the nursery? Do you serve in the nursery? They said, no. It's that we have a nursery. It's the 1 hour of the week where we as a couple get to leave our kids and come and experience worship together, and that grows our faith more than we can say. So thank you to those who make that possible, who serve in our nursery and our children's ministry, because that's what we want to do for more and more people, is give them that opportunity to connect, not just with others, but to connect with God here in our church. So that's it. Those are the 4 questions I asked, and those are the responses I received. I'm so thankful to everyone who took time to be with me in those groups and to help me learn so much about the church. And I look forward in the years to come to seeing some of those dreams be realized and some of those challenges be faced as we continue to live into the mission that God gives us. Expect to hear from me about every 4 to 6 months. We'll do another video just like this, and I'll give you an update on what we're working on and where we're going in the future. I hope you put on your calendar January 28th. On that night, we're going to have an all-church meeting where you have the opportunity to come and hear about all the ministries of the church and get a sneak peek into where we're going in 2019. So thanks for listening, and if you want the more full report, click on the link connected to this on the website. Thank you.